Those were the Pancha Pran, or the 5 pledges as the Prime Minister outlined them. But here are the 5 big takeaways from the Prime Minister's address. It was a 90-minute long address. Number one, he said that aspirational India is our biggest asset. He was directly speaking to the young people, half of India under the age of 35. Number two, the Pancha Pran that you heard, the 5 pledges that the Prime Minister outlined to make India a developed nation by 2047. Number three, and this was a big theme of his speech, calling for action against any misogynistic speech or deed. He said it's time to treat women as equal partners in our citizenry. Number four, he also came up with a new coinage, taking off from Lal Bahadur Shastri's Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. He also said Jai Vigyan and Jai Anusandhan, the emphasis being on science and technology. And number five, he said there are 2 social ills that India needs to get rid of in the next 25 years. One is the war against corruption or bhrishtachar, and 2, the war against dynastic politics or nepotism, be it in whatever chosen field. Let me now go across to our guests who are joining us. Dr. Anshul Avijit, the spokesperson of the Congress Party, will be joined by Shazia Ilmi of the BJP as well. Ratan Sharda, RSS thinker and researcher, is also joining us, and Ashok Wankere, senior journalist. Ratan Sharda, let me start with you first. The Prime Minister outlining that the next 25 years is going to be the Amrit Kal for India, and he's urged each and every citizen to work towards making India a developed nation by 2047. The question is, what sort of developed nation? What is the vision of a developed nation that we have as a collective citizenry that we want to achieve by 2047?
Zakka, first of all, thanks for calling me. And secondly, I would say that it was the most inspiring and visionary speech for years that I've heard on 15th August. It had nothing to do with day-to-day policies. It had nothing to offer to people. It had something to ask from people. A powerful leader, he asked the people to do something for the nation. He doesn't say, I will do this for you and that for you. This call for citizens' duty is a very bold and very important call that he has given, like in the first speech talked about Swachh Bharat. So let us own up. That is the biggest thing. Second was his importance he gave to women, an unseen, untapped source of energy for the nation's rise. Thirdly, I think that Tri Shakti talked about the aspirations, the reawakening and the world's expectations from us. And this reawakening part we have slowly seen. Aspiration, he called it a double-edged sword. So that is also very important to understand. We said that every state must compete with each other for development. That was a very inclusive statement. And he has kept every possible source. And what kind of India is clearly said, equitable, opportunity for all, dignity for all, and opportunities for all. This call for Anusandhan, call for the youth to take part in the growth of India and be proud by the time they are 50, 55, they have witnessed India as the developed country. This definite goal setting for the people, I think that's very important part of today's speech, and we'll come to other parts as we carry on. Thank you so much.
Anshul Avijit, is this something that we all as Indian citizens, aside of our political dispositions and political differences, can agree upon, that the very least we owe to this nation by the time we turn 100 in 2047, certainly owe to our future generations, is that it becomes a developed country by the time India celebrates its 100th year of independence?
No, of course, it's a fabulous rhetorical statement that we should be developed. Who can absolutely disagree with it at any point in time? That's what we are all aiming for. But if we want a $5 trillion economy, then you have to work for it. One word that was repeated most often in this speech, I don't know whether he thought of it himself or a speechwriter, I don't know, was samarth, which actually means competence or ability to do something. And in psychoanalysis, you say that the more you repeat a word, the less you have it of yourself or in your government. I think this government has shown by a blazing example how incompetent it can be to realize those very questions that you're asking for a developed economy. Our economy is completely wrecked at the moment, where we have unemployment, where we have inflation, high levels of inflation, and we have widespread poverty. And this was not referred to in the speech by the Prime Minister. The real economy, output, jobs was not referred to. There was a fleeting reference to unemployment when he said, rozgar ka afsar diye hain humne, kya diye hain kisi ko nahi pata, but there was nothing to that. The point is that throughout his Red Fort speeches, Zakka, if you notice, the Prime Minister has started making announcements. I'm going to do this. There have been promises of certain schemes, Beti Bachao scheme, doubling farm income scheme, Startup India, Skill India, Gati Shakti of 100 lakh crores was made last year. We haven't seen any of that. So I think wisely the Prime Minister decided this time not to make any announcements because he's incapable of fulfilling them.
Okay, so let me ask Ashok Wankhede.